I love creating fantasy and medieval themed LEGO minifigures, and in this video I'll be showing you a couple ideas I came up with. Make sure to stick around to the end, because I'll be showing you a variety that spans from deadly barbarians to powerful wizards. So without further ado, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Let's take this incredibly common torso that comes from the Marvel Infinity War saga and complement it with some printed arms and legs. For extra flair, this shiny double-sided gold cape will work perfectly. And now we have a cool fancy desert wanderer. He explores the vast lands in search for ancient magic, hoping to one day become a powerful sorcerer. The headscarf is such a unique and useful piece that I'm glad I got a good use for. I've also made a few martial artists, so let's take a look at those next. My favorite one out of the three is this orc ronin. The only one in his race to ever be taught the arts of the noble samurai, until one day being rejected and banished after his master's unfortunate death. His torso comes from the Pirates in the Caribbean line, the head from Star Wars, and the legs are from an old CMF character. He's paired with a dark brown cape, a hat, and a makeshift katana. This makes for a swift, yet brutal combination. All these elements blend together so great that I'm really happy how he turned out. This next one is a demon swordsman. I placed some orange arms on this Ninjago torso and found some legs to match. The design for this figure was largely based on the hairpiece, which reminds me a lot of the hairstyle that samurai are often depicted with. He's quite simple, so if you have any suggestions for improvements, let me know in the comments. The Mushroom Warrior is a little more abstract, but I think he still looks cool in my opinion. I may have cheated a little bit by creating a custom shoulder piece with some mushrooms painted on it, but it really helps to bring the look together. The eyes of the head were also altered a bit since I painted them red, but the stripes on the head and body really look like the texture of a mushroom stem, so I think they look great. This hairpiece from the elf sets fits perfectly into the fantasy setting, and using it I made a beautiful druid. This waist cape is pretty much perfect to depict a leaf skirt. I'll use the torso from Poison Ivy, but cover up the skin tone with a second one of these waist capes. And finally, build her an accessory. Although the LEGO Elves wave wasn't very popular, it still gave us some really useful pieces that we can use in creative ways. I hope that I can find some more in the future to create more customs. Even if you have seemingly useless parts, you can still manage to make interesting characters. Take this cape for example. I thought for sure it was pretty much useless after seeing how cut up and marked up it was. But let's use this torso from Ninjago and add some red hands to it, some matching legs, then our cape and quiver. Now we managed to create a dark elf mercenary using this beat up cape, and even turned out to be one of my favorites from the showcase. The red really pops on this figure, which looks great, and I feel like it's a really good use for this D&D headpiece. I ran into the same issue with this gray cape, but we can still figure out a way to use it. We'll design our figure using these three elements in dark blue and gray, then lock in our cape with a sword piece. Using Gore the God Butcher's headprint, we created a master swordsman. He pairs super great with our mercenary we made before, and now we have a close range and long range warrior. They would make quite a deadly team. For some more variety, what about a Brickbuilt character? I'll be using a totally illegal technique to attach some arms using these tooth pieces. We're going to stick them into the arm sockets like so, then add some arms. Shout out to Sobek Bricks, where I learned to build these legs from. He does a lot of really cool fantasy customs on his Instagram, so check it out if you're interested. To hide a little bit of the leg assembly, we will use the waist cape. Now we can add our torso, a cape, some wings, and the headpiece. Now we've managed to create a Raven Reaper. He's significantly taller than a regular minifigure, but it adds to the intimidating factor. I made a couple sorcerers that turned out pretty nice, so let's check them out. First up is this Wind Mage. He looks a bit more traditional with the witch hat and big beard. I used the legs and torso from Ninjago, and this black cape with an interesting shape to it. This might be the simplest one, but these next couple are some of my favorites. Using the headpiece from the Harpy CMF, equipping it with a top knot hairpiece, and a black beard, we managed to create an evil warlock. As an accessory, I built this staff out of transparent purple parts to match his aesthetic. He turned out pretty neat if you ask me. He gives me evil genie vibes for some reason. At first sight, this torso piece may not appear suitable for the fantasy setting, but by combining some matching elements and using this headpiece from Marvel's Electro, we created a cool looking mage. It almost reminds me of a fantasy version of Lando from Star Wars, a suave, well-dressed ranger who's got a couple tricks up his sleeve to get ahead, masterfully outsmarting any opponent. This next one is probably the coolest one of them all, an elven fire mage. I used this shirtless torso with tattoos and added an arm with fire printed on it to pair with his elemental power. Next, I'll add these legs from the Barbarian CMF. I have this really nice dark red cape that will work perfectly. I also added this scarf and this head with red face paint, which works absolutely perfect. And it really brings it all together super well. As an accessory, of course, I had to give him a flaming sword. Let's add a Cyclops warrior to our collection. I made a Brickbuilt club that we can add to the figure. And I gotta say, the cork torso pairs perfectly with the Cyclops head. Too bad it has lipstick printed on it. Otherwise, he still looks super cool and imposing. Next up, a White Ranger. He will be equipped with a bow for a weapon. And I even gave him an owl as a trusted companion. The owl will help him in scouting new territory, revealing vantage points, and tracking targets. I've also managed to make an orc mercenary, styled with a mohawk and equipped with various weapons that he's picked up from defeated enemies. I like to imagine that he has completed contracts and has upgraded his gear along the way. Our final figure in the showcase is this demon barbarian. I built him a giant blood axe as a signature weapon. The Dragon Knight armor is perfect for his color scheme of red and black. And of course, I had to add some horns to his head to make him look the part. He's definitely another one of my favorites. You have reached the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed. I also want to thank everyone for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Sharing also really helps me grow. Anyway, bye for now.